So, so, um, so basically, uh, where you've just finished off the spiritual weapon is even still there. Combat unit has literally, with Kane's help and Ara, just managed to finish, fending them off. Um, Johnny and Minnie, you would be aware of what's happening because you heard the shouts, the screams, the people asking for help. But it is now over. Combat has ended. Um, so Shal is, still for at least a good few hours completely in his own world, just looking through the eyes of his little spider thing. What are the rest of you guys doing? Not yet. So I will tell you when you've had a long rest and not before. Um, Kane, are you just making your way back as well? Okay. So it is the middle of the night. There's not. That's just a case of that one, you can't see them, and two, I did say last week that they'd all gone to bed. You heard them all going to bed. Yeah, they're fucking everywhere. Yeah, it's quite a few. Like you were following. Okay, so Shao, do you recall what happened with your spider person, your spider thing? Um, I will now say morning has come. Um, what are you guys doing? It is indeed a long rest. say this there? So you're saying this where you are, right? So, okay. Like I will say, don't forget you have to say if you're whispering, because otherwise I don't know. Because you're like, oh well, obviously, and I'm like, yeah, but sometimes maybe you want someone to overhear. I don't know. Um. So yeah. So you got. Okay. There's rain. You're basically a sort of almost amorphous rock, so the rain just kind of helps wash it off. You don't really have clothes. Oh, you're not a co-owner. What's that? Sorry. That's a real, yeah, it's a real close call. Well, it's not even that. It's a case of like, is it for the greater good, or is it a case of you are or you are what do you call it, defiling a corpse? That's basically the line. Is it a case of like, are you doing it to dispose of a body, of it? I'm not giving you a ruling on one or the other. I'm just telling you that those are the kind of two lines, and it's however you interpret it. Your coach will let you know soon enough if it's not that. Okay. Okay, can I get, for those of you who are trying to hide the bodies, can you please give me a stealth check? Okay, so anyone else trying to hide it at all? Sure, give me a performance check. Oh, nice. It is convincing, and you see quite a few of the like, sort of like folks and everything. Just like, oh shit, is it gonna fall? Is it gonna fall? As it looks like the entire top deck starts to slowly tremble, and like picks up pace before then dying back down. I'd say with those stealth checks, you're not confident, put it that way, that you've hidden it, but at, at a glance, maybe you might be able to get away with, like, um, what you call it, with somebody just walking past the door. There are no, these things are just like barred doors, effectively. Yeah, they don't want, they No, they don't want tight locking doors because of the cold weather, if you remember. All the doors have quite a thick wedge along all of the seams, with the exception of the heart of the orcs and the captain's rooms, and then the strong room. They are the only three rooms that you have seen that have locks on them. It no, just like it swings open and shut. It you have no privacy in these rooms. It's a good like inch or two. Like it's enough that if the door was to swell or there was to be snow and ice, that you could break it free. Because if it was like say like 5 mil, then you're not gonna that's very easily with just like a lot of heavy rain and freezing temperatures, water dripping down the front of the door could soon turn to icicles, and all of a sudden you've got almost like a vacuum at the bottom suction of just ice attaching the door to the floor. So yeah, um, you definitely can try. Okay, give me an Arcana check. I'd say with disadvantage because this is not an easy thing to do. Yeah. Yeah, it's not in any way, shape, or form. It is clearly a warehouse where people stay overnight. Okay, so with Shao's like sort of half hobbled thing, like it doesn't really wedge the door in a way. It just kind of now gives this sort of like scoring mark where you can see the wood is dragging. So there's a bit of a it's now slightly harder to open. If you imagine that somebody had stuck like newspaper under a door, it's just that little bit of extra pressure that needs to be given, but that's about it. Oops, you spend 10 minutes doing that, isn't it? They're up and about. Like you guys, if you think about it, have had like an early rise because it was the dead of night when all of that kicked off, and then you've then had a full 8 hours sleep on top of that. Everyone else went to bed quite early because you're hitting the sort of like you. It's not full on winter yet, but it gets dark early. So they're up at 6 and you're up at like the equivalent of like 9. So yeah, okay. Okay, so mic's down. What are you guys doing? Okay. So Grizzly Pete turns back around to you, and it's just like You get what you're fucking given! And he just like, you hear this as just like this gruely gristle is just put into this bowl and handed out to each one of you. No, like it is a sealed structure with basically a door here and a door here, which is that's it. Fair enough. So, you guys have been given your gristle from Gristle Pete, who seems to be extremely happy that you're back downstairs and bothering him once again. You've met Gristle Pete, he was there last time. Alright, okay. No, you were too ill. Okay, so you guys have got your food, you're eating it, what are you doing? Okay, aren't 100% sure. Like you know that this convoy is carrying on to Neverwinter. Um, but the cultists seem to have stopped. In fact, when you woke up this morning, you don't notice anyone else from the convoy except a few of the cultists, including Barry. I mean, you can. Okay, so I will say, because obviously this was last session, you guys do know that the only person who has access to that room is Bogluck. Yeah. He's the no, he's the orc. You can do whatever you want. No, it's not. You've also no, you have your own. Yep, you have your own box of. I think you still put the box in there. It's just you didn't put the spider in the box. I don't have a orc token ready for this because there's literally no other orc. So ignore the red ring. He's not hostile. Um, I will put Boglock. I am 100% sure. He can become hostile because I know what you guys are like, but at the moment he is not hostile. So that is Boglock there. Okay. You. There are 10, maybe a bit more, like normal people helping out. A couple of them look a bit sturdier than others. And you've seen 3 to 4 at breakfast, cultists. You've then seen at least another 5 or 6 cultists knocking around as well. And you assume there are more because you know that there are at the very least 5 or 6 rooms that they've booked out. There are big doors there and big doors there. That is it. There are also big doors there. That is also it. Those are doors, but in the sense of like they go into here and they're stable doors. They're literally, as you can see, they have hay in them. So they're really rough doors. Well, can you give me a stealth check, please? There is a verbal component, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe there's a verbal component to thaumaturgy. Uh, yep. In fact, it is only verbal thaumaturgy. So, yeah. So, um, so yeah. So you're pretty confident that you've been able to kind of like hide what's going on. Um, yeah. Boglock doesn't seem to know where it's coming from or who's doing it, but but the other big but is none of this has ever happened before until you guys arrived. So he's whilst he's not the sharpest tool in the toolbox, he's not that dumb either that three people are missing and all of a sudden there's spells going at the zoo. So okay, you're talking to Bogluck. There's people working all over the place. I mean, I know they're stationary because I'm not going to sit here moving them like that, but they are all working around. Certainly try. Okay. Okay, so Johnny, can you give me a deception check? And Ara, can you give me a stealth check with advantage? Okay, you think you're pretty hidden. What are you doing? You think you're pretty hidden? Yeah, like again rotating characters. It's not only hard, but it's also a case of like as you guys move around, I've then got to move everybody to face you the right way. I'm not going to do that. Like, like, go for it. As he's just going, look, oi, and he just looks down and he just sees this little elf girl. Like it happens in a second. He feels a tug as she's trying to pull the key off his like belt loop. Looks down, sees Ara. You are discovered. What are you guys doing? What his key? It's on his right side. Ara's gone for on his right side, and then he's going to be turning right around. He's not going to go. Ara's leaning this side to get him on the right side, so he's going to turn like that around, yeah. So although his right side would come round, he's obviously now going to be. Yeah, I mean you can certainly try. He is now, yeah. Sleight of hand, disadvantage. So, Shao, can you give me two sleight of hand checks, please? So it's a disadvantage, so two checks. Nope, he feels you tug on that, and at that point, he's going to draw down on you guys. You're trying to steal. What are you doing? So what are you doing? What are you doing? Oi, lads, get 'em! And you hear like the rapid footsteps of people coming from upstairs. Make me a deception check with disadvantage. He's not buying it. He is not buying it. Disadvantage, like he just caught you nicking his key twice. Oh right, I was gonna say I thought you were being like disadvantage. I was like, what? So, what are you guys doing? Yep, you certainly can. You can stand right in the middle. Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. Nope. And I need all of you now to roll initiative. I mean, yeah. I was gonna say I don't know really what you guys were expecting, to be honest with you. What I love is as well is you actually had access to it. You had stuff in there. All you had to do was be like, "Hey, can we go in?" Sure. No. Okay. Um, you guys are all still passive, so I'm gonna say that as they're all drawn, they're gonna get a round on you. Because you guys are like, whoa, 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 weapons down, hands up, as you guys said, you're being very, yeah, right. But basically, you're going, whoa, and they're just they're gonna strike in. So these two cultists here are gonna go for Johnny. Um, actually, no, one's gonna go for Shao, the other one's gonna go for Johnny. So let's have a look here. Oh, crap, hang on one second. No, this is effectively a surprise round, for want of a better word. So just bear with me one second, because I've now got to write down a whole load of stuff. Because I really wasn't expecting you guys to be, well, let's just leave it at that. Yeah, yeah, that's totally. I know, I should know better by now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the first one is going to strike Shao. That hits, so you take 5 slashing damage. The second one is going to go for Johnny. I wouldn't smirk too hard because he technically has advantage on you. Oh, nat one! Okay, well, it was with advantage. Unfortunately, you don't get the nat one roll. Okay, so then we're going to go through the cultists. So then these two here, they have no option but to take on combat units. The only one in range. They're both with advantage because of the flanking from the others. So first one, I mean, they're going to have to roll really high to hit combat unit. Let's be honest. 9's going to miss. 16 also misses. So you just watch as this, you just watch as Johnny like manages to move out of the way. Shao gets just cut across the arm, and then combat, and you see it ting ting. You're like, oh wow, they hit him, and it's just deflecting off his armor. He's just so not phased. This one's going to push up, and these three are going to jump arrow. All have advantage because of the veterans giving advantage to this guy. So all three have advantage, so that is attack attack. So you take 11 slashing damage because I know 23 hits. Second set, 12 misses, I believe. Ooh, and then mate, and I took it as she had. Right, okay. Um, so the first one comes in and it's a deep dagger, like short sword strike to your back, and you're just like, oh! And you just kind of look up in time to see the other two coming in, and you're able to duck out of the way. The veteran, seeing what's going on, is going to take on combat units, seeing you as the biggest threat. It's going to it's gonna oh, uh so So he makes two strikes at you with advantage, but unfortunately just can't roll high enough, and you're able to kind of deflect them. Be like, whoa, dude, cling, cling. We're now at the top of combat. Shao, you're up. What are you doing? I'd say a good. Trying to think of my height. Yeah, I was just trying to think in feet. Probably about 18 to 20 feet. Because it's a two-story building with then obviously a roof, so I'd say yeah, 30 feet probably actually then actually 30 feet. Yep, so you're taking an opportunity attack at advantage. No, actually it doesn't. No, sorry, it doesn't. But I mean, 12 misses anyway. Okay, so what does that make him? Does that actually make him large? Okay, he is surrounded at the moment. So this is good. Yeah, he is. So I'm gonna say because it's a positive, I'm gonna say it's gonna push Johnny out, and he's gonna push the veteran back. So 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 as you guys kind of like look over and you see Shao go, no, 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 no. and you just watch this kind of like magical energy like leave his arm and combat. He just impacts on combat unit, and your first like thought is like, what the fuck? Like he's on our side, and then you just watch as combat unit just starts to, in all proportions, just grow and become literally a large creature. Um, his warhammer that is pretty big anyway grows to now like what would normally be classed as a great hammer. Right. Okay. 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 So the veterans now seeing that combo unit is 100% the biggest threat is going to try and attack him again. So you just see Bogluck's like, the fuck? No! And just like starts hacking away. First set of attacks. 22, does that hit? So that does hit. So you take 6 slashing damage. First hit. Second round of attack, 24 hits. So you take 5 slashing damage. Indeed. And that's his turn. He's going to stand where he is. It's now the cultist's turn. And yep, you definitely are. No, you're not. You're at the bottom of the staircase. No, look how the staircase works. so, so Char's like, I'm really safe, and then just looks up to his right as he just sees 5 cultists running down the stairwell. Be like, I may have miscalculated this move. Um, so they're going to swing round. You are the only and nearest target, so they're just going to wail on you. Uh, there's not a single one of them that doesn't have advantage, so this should be fun. Okay, shield. So you have +5 to AC. So as you see this scimitar come in, you go, nope, woof, and this bluey white barrier just appears in front of you. You just as the blade just pings off it. Second one goes in. Ooh. Third one. Nope. Fourth one. 20. So one of them just tries to like both hands like sort of like Hulk smash in Thor, both hands like slams in and it's just enough force to penetrate the barrier. You need to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Yeah, you're absolutely fine. And then the final attack, because there's 5 of them there. No, so that you as the other goes ha, thinking that the shield is down, goes in for just a normal kind of swiping scimitar attack, and you see as it just kind of like ripples in his hand, and you have that as just got that vibration transferred. That is those cultists. It's now the other cultist's turn. Um, so this one's going to move up here to be able to attack Johnny. The other one's going to do the same. In fact, he's going to be around here. So combat unit, you do get an attack of opportunity because you don't have an additional reach, so it is 5 feet. That hits. 5. Okay, so 5 damage. Yes, just doing math. Okay, so you just slam it. He's like, you've got Sentinel, don't you? Yep, yep. So he doesn't. So he just, and he just kind of freezes for a second, kind of like opens his eyes again. It's like fuck it, and just slashes away at Johnny. So this is not with advantage. This is a straight attack at Johnny. 11. So he still kind of ringing from combat unit's massive hammer hit. He's just like not quite able to get on target. The other one's going to try for it now. He's going to see what he can do. 16. So as the other cultist comes in, you're able to kind of quickly deflect it with your shield, and just hearing this sort of as the blade just kind of scrapes along the shield, glancing off. Now all them other cultists down here are gonna these two are gonna wail on combat unit. They both have advantage. Still flanking. So this is 12 and a 17. Yeah. Um, So as they both come in, the first one you literally just lean out of the way, and with the second one you just with your fist, which is now so enlarged it acts like a shield, just parry off the second attack. These three are all going to still try and focus down on Ara, knowing that she was hated by one of their brethren who have mysteriously gone missing. Um, so two of them are with advantage, one of them isn't. So I'll do the two with advantage first. That misses. 14, does that hit? Okay. And solo roll 22. So as the other two kind of like try and team up, you're able to kind of like use your elven like awareness to kind of parry, dodge, miss, and as you do that, the third one just leans in, just goes and just stabs you for 3 piercing slashing damage. I did the veteran stone, I did. So Johnny, you're up. What are you doing? Okay. And give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I am labeling enemies as there are now quite a few. There are literally 12 cultists, so I kind of need to keep track of whose health is what. Okay, so sorry, so everyone, so I mean, you guys can put your own things on, by the way. So yeah, I've done that for and I'll do that now for combat unit. There you go. You've got concentration on, but you have not put your bless on. Okay, there we go. I did it. Fair enough. Okay, so you cast Spare the Dying on the one next to you, kind of like looks at you a bit weird, being like, what? And then that's your turn. Ara, you're up. What are you doing? Your dad's just, although he's always been somebody that you've looked up to, you now really have to look up to him. He's just like next to you. So who are you targeting, sorry? This one here. Okay, so yep, that does hit, and they take 10 piercing damage. They are looking pretty hurt. Go for it. That hits. That's enough. Like th these guys, if you remember, they're not hard. There's just a lot of them. So you, as you just kind of like stab him. He goes, oh, and as he leans over, you just lift the blade underneath his chin and his throat, and you just go and just cut, and you just watch as the blood starts to go down his front. He's as he just collapses to the floor. That's your action. Bonus action. You got your movement. Okay. Is that your turn then? Okay, Minnie, you're up. What are you doing? Go. Oh, I really need to get a bear token. Okay, you are a wolf for now. During the break, I will get a wolf token, a bear token, as apparently this is now a thing that I now need to have prepared. Yeah. Seconds. 2 seconds because Dave is knows he will forget next week. So just bear with me a second. Ah, it's got a background, but fuck it, it's a bear. Have a bear. Uh, okay. Okay, go for a bite. Nice, that hits. You managed to just chunk into him. You do also have your bless, just so you know, because it passes onto your new form. Um, a D4. You've already hit though, so it doesn't add to your damage roll. It just adds purely to your attack roll. I'm pretty sure that's right, isn't it? That is also true. Is it an action for it to wild shape? Is it a moon druid? So you wouldn't have been able to have attacked. It's just the silent disappointment. Do you have a bonus action? Is there anything you can do as a bear? You sure? You don't want to get your honey pot out. You don't want to, like put your camper's hat on. I mean, For your son, right? You are now Yogi. Okay, cool. If you just bear with me 2 seconds, because whilst we've been doing this, I have actually just cleaned up that token. So just bear with me 2 seconds, and I can give you a proper token. So, okay, who's next then? Combat unit, you're up. What are you doing? Wow, okay. Okay, I need to know what the check is though. So what's your spell attack modifier? No spell attack, your spell save. 11. Okay, so it's a wisdom 11 save basically. Right, give me a second. So they're numbered, so I'm going right to left, okay? So starting here, going clockwise. Right, so okay, but all right. So first one fails. Second one success. Okay. Third one fails. Fails. Yep, it's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to put a heart circle over that one because he's the only one that succeeded so far. Makes it a lot easier. I can do the others later. Where was I up to? I had done 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is he's a veteran. I need to roll something else for him. That would have passed, but let's see what the veteran gets. Yeah, pass, pass. So that would have carried over. So there's only one more down south. Ooh, fail. Right, okay, so these two need hearts. Ooh, yes, yes. Because it's more, it makes more sense. So I'm not going to mark the villagers. I'm going to say that they've just fucking ran away, right? Because like I'm not going to go and find like normal people like token. Okay, so one failed, two saves. So okay, right. So what do they have to do? They become frightened for 1 minute. Okay, so yeah, I know I'm marking the ones that are fine, but it just because that's how I started. That's how I'm continuing. Yeah. Okay, so it gives him disadvantage on any attacks, I believe, frightened, as long as you're within eyesight or could be within eyesight. So you don't actually have to be directly in eye line. You just have to be, yeah. So basically, if they could see you, then they have disadvantage. So they'd have to actually go around a corner, and they cannot move any closer to you. They do not have to move away, but they cannot move any closer to you. Right, correct. So that was your action, I believe, and your bonus action. That's a point. Is that a Shield of Faith? Okay, okay, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so that's you done, right? You've only got your movement left. Okay, Kane, you're up. What are you doing? because Shao's flanking in literally all of them. You go anywhere, you're flanking. So every attack you roll twice. Yep, because you're attacking. Who are you attacking first? Which one? You've not clicked. Okay, this one here. Okay, okay, there we go. Okay, so you got a crit, which means you roll your d6. Yep, so just roll it again, because that's how Roll20 does it, so fuck it, why not? Gives you a chance to get more than a 1. But actually, what do you have? What do you have with your 1? You need to remember that. No, you don't get advantage on it. Yeah, but it's not with those ones, but you do need to remember that for the future. If you roll on a damage roll and you get just a 1, you roll 1 or a 2, you get to roll it again. She's got Great Weapon Master, so and she just keeps off again. It does. It never had that before. That was strange. They must have added that. That's cool. Okay. So you just literally this first guy, you just like and just instantly dead. You have another attack? Okay, yep. You can. And your d6. Yep. So this one, you come in and you and he's looking so hurt. Like okay, that's your turn. That is round 1, Jesus Christ. Shao, you're up. uh, okay, that's going to be a struggle. Um, I'd say you can make an unarmed strike to hit him with like the butt of the dagger. I'd allow that. But you can't stab someone non-lethally. What are you doing? Okay, that will encompass yourself as well, I believe. Okay, go for it. So, I don't think it's rolled it. There we go. 28. Yep. Yep. That's it. So yeah, those three all just you just watch Kane as you slash hack slash and then Shao just mutters some words and kind of just out into the air and three nearby go, I'm, I'm good actually, and just kind of collapse to the floor asleep. Okie doke. So it's now the veteran's turn. He he's going to push in and I'll delete this one. He's going to push in and try and take on Ara, seeing that she's the one that's actually taking some hits. So that's going to be multi-attack with advantage. First one. 16, does that hit? You take 6 slashing damage. And the second one is 6 slashing damage, so you take 12 slashing damage in total. That definitely hits, and you deal 6 bludgeoning damage back. I would say no, because you're literally using your reaction, and I don't. Yeah, I would say no, because the whole thing of turns is like you casting and stuff like that. So you're effectively calling down Divine to be able to hit that with that. So for me, because you're just reflex slapping him, I would say you wouldn't have had the time to do that. I now need to do math. There you go. Cool. Yep. Okay. So that was the veteran's turn. It is now the cultist's turn. This one here is definitely going to stab you, Shao, or at least try to. Single attack. 14. Okay, so he just goes to swing in, and you just go nope, and just move out of the way. I've also just realised something. I'm going to let all of the cultists roll this turn to be non-frightened, because technically they have advantage. And I didn't roll. Correct. So what I'm doing is I'm rolling it again, because they would have had advantage. Right, so yeah, the cultists have advantage against saving throws against being charmed and frightened. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 cultists that need to do it. So all the way around. So all bar 1. So yeah, this guy's still, but this guy's still scared absolutely shitless of you. He just he can't, he physically can't move. I will say though, in the sake of fairness, that they used their action to do that. That they like kind of focused in and like to try and break free of that fear, and that's the reason they're now able to kind of like shield it off. So that is their turn. So if nothing else, you got a free turn out of it. But yeah, I did realise that they did actually have advantage on it. So Johnny, you're up. What are you doing? Oh, sorry, I heard you. Yeah, you said I'm going to level, and only I get to tell you that. So, okay. So, Ara, you may heal for 12 points. Correct. Yes. I mean, so literally, you just see Johnny kind of goes, mutters some words, heals Ara, and then just with the same hand turns, touches this guy on the toe, and like something out of the Green Mile, just smoke starts to come out of his eyes and his mouth. He starts to jitter and then just collapses down to the floor. Fair enough. We also need to talk about your character, because we were going to give you a necklace to help with healing. Ara, you are up. What are you doing? Indeed, yeah. Okay. That is with advantage, yep. You didn't roll it. Yeah, there we go. You are blessed. That is enough. So at first you just look like you're not going to quite hit, and then you kind of feel this like radiant pulse from you, and you just kind of quickly switch tack and just cut across his arm. Not doing a huge amount of damage, but enough. You do indeed. No, 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 no. No, Horde Breaker is only with your bow. Yeah, so you do have another attack anyway, and if you wanted to attack this guy, you could. But I just wanted to make it clear if you're using Horde Breaker, that is a completely different thing. Yeah. Okay. So you attacking this guy, yeah? Or you attack? Yeah. Okay. You get to roll again. You got advantage because the bear is giving you. Um. Yeah. Nice. So you just really dig deep into this guy. He says, "Ah!" as you just kind of like dig your short sword deep into his clavicle. But he's looking pretty hurt. Okay, Minnie, you're up. What are you doing? You are on my screen because, yeah, basically, because Roll20, yeah. Okay, with advantage, and you're blessed. Nice, that is enough. And you just watch as this guy's like, ah! All of a sudden he's just, as he looks over and he's like, the fuck! And there's this bench, chomps straight into him. You hear bones crunch. And he's just, as you just snap bone and tendon and sinew alike, and he is gone. You also have claws, by the way. No, but it's like if you have a look, your claws do 2d4 plus 2. So technically you have the potential to do more damage. Yeah. No, just the claws. Yeah. That is not with advantage. Yeah. And you said your attack. Okay. Um. No, can you roll me a d4 though? Because on a 1 and a 3 you hit arrow, on a 2 and a 4 you hit yourself. You hit yourself? Okay, and roll a d10. Oh no, you hit arrow. Okay. Can you roll a d10 please? 7 or above, it does damage. Oh! So how much damage would that have been? 7. So that is 8 is half. So Ara, you take rounded down. So Ara, you just look as the bear's like, ah! And just after you've gone, oh thanks, Minnie. All of a sudden, this looping bear claw comes towards you, and you're like, the fuck? As just this, as these claws just scratch across you, and you take 3 slashing damage. Combat unit. I take it that's you're up, Minnie. Yeah, that's your cool. Combat unit, you're up. What are you doing? Okay, go for it. That's with advantage. Bless is to hit and not to. Yeah. Yes. Oh! Okay, so that was 16 damage. It's still like a decent amount of damage. He's looking winded. He's definitely looking winded. Like he's not, I'd say not quite bloodied, but you know, getting there. Yep, that hits. You get an additional. You also get an additional D4, which is better. He is now looking bloodied. He's not like down and out, but you know, like he's got a broken nose and he's got some cuts that are bleeding more than he'd like. Okay, yep, yep, okay. So I go back to the. Oh, what was it? Fuck. Okay, 10. Yeah, he is now like he's not as bad as some of the guys around, but he is like definitely struggling to stay on his feet. Okay, I also just realised there's just a random civilian right there. I was like, wait, what is that? Just quickly whoop, move that out of the way. Kane, you're up. I assume company you're not moving. No, Kane, you're up. What are you doing? Hey, you never know. Yep, you can. It'd be with advantage. And I would say as they're unconscious, right? I can say it's a nat crit anyway, but yeah, sure. Um, I mean, yeah. Like, I'm gonna carry those over because this guy literally has one hit point. So, like, I'm not gonna have you wasting a crit on one hit point. Um, so yeah, you then you then just like mosey on over and just instant smash. So you just literally with the first guy just roll your glaive across his throat, and you just hear "nicely done" in your head, and then you just as you turn around, you and you just bring it down, carving through the other guy, splitting him directly in half like something out of a Harry Houdini film. You still have your bonus action. You do indeed. Yep, you certainly can. It's with advantage as well. Okay, and the d6. And this guy, you just crush his skull with the pommel of your glaive. You just and you hear this as just like you as he just starts to wake up as you know skull's being crushed. That's your action. That's your action and your bonus action. You've okay. It is now round two. Shao, what are you doing? You've just watched as Kane's just walked up to these three sleeping cultists and just literally killed them in their sleep. Um, okay. That I mean, he 100% is asleep. Okay. They have 12 hit points. Like they're not hard to kill. Uh, so is that you done? That your action and anything you would do for your bonus? Okay, sure, sure. Kane can Kane can reach from there, but sure. Okay, so it's now the veteran's turn. Um, he's seeing the bear and Ara is just kind of like, and he's going to take a swipe at the bear with his multi-attack. So that's going to be 2 longsword strikes. Both, both of which I'm pretty sure wildly miss. 7 and 11. No, you're not. Who took a black bear? Oh, I see. Yeah, sorry. You're right. No, sorry. Yeah, I was looking at your hit points. That is my bad. Okay. Sorry. I know, right? So you're just like, and all of a sudden you just see this one sword stripe coming in. You kind of like bear giggle, just and then just as you then feel this really burning, searing pain across your chest as you look down, you have this big gaping wound. You are hurt. You've taken 11 damage. 11 slashing damage, I believe. Yep. So, uh, crying after like Ara's response of like, "Why are you doing this?" He's going to be like, "You're stealing my keys!" And that is it's now the cultist's turn. This one's going to try and attack Johnny. Fails. This one's going to try. You know what? These two. Yeah, they are booking it. They are absolutely legging it. They're like, you know what? Nah. So, Combi, do you get an attack of opportunity? That hits. So she literally, that's exactly what happens. This guy just kind of looks at him and that kind of like, sorry, bro, as he just like disappears up the stairs. He's using his action to dash and he's just gone. Right, this cultist is going. Well, now that this cultist can't move, he's going to turn around and just try and swipe at combat unit with advantage. Does a pretty good hit, but combat unit's just able to just poing it out the way, and he just looks a bit defeatist and like really like in that sort of like, well, I'm gonna die. This guy here is going to also try and strike the bear, seeing now that it looks pretty weak. Not with advantage is a straight roll. 19 does hit, so you take 5 further slashing damage in your bear form. This guy's asleep, so that's that. Yep, that's their turn. Johnny, you're up. What are you doing? Yep, just swings wide. Just looks a bit defeatist. Okay. So you use your action to basically try and persuade him. Okay, yep, no worries. Give me a straight persuasion check. You are in the middle of combat, which would normally make it disadvantage. However, he is watching, yeah, like literally his backup just being eviscerated before him. He looks at you, and if it wasn't for your cat-like reflexes, you'd have probably got an elbow in the face. He just goes, "Fuck off! We got this!" And he's just like, "Yeah, that's it." Okay, Ara, it is your turn. What are you doing? You have a very heavily bleeding bear next to you, and you've got two guys right in front of you. That that is your action to do cure wounds, just to make that clear. Okay. So, so, so the bear kind of looks over and apparently is like some sort of comedic, like slow dying bear in that sort of like, after school special, just as he's just like taking way too long to die. The camera keeps on cutting back, and it's still somehow stumbling down the road. 10 minutes into the film, it's still stumbling down the road, and Arrow just kind of like just taps it, rubs its belly, and its wounds start to kind of like seal up a bit, and you can take 8 points of healing. Okay, so that's your action arrow. You've got your bonus action and your movement. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Okay, cool. Right, Minnie the bear, it is now your turn. What are you doing? Nice. So, okay, sure. So, yep, you just and just clench into him, and you hear his parts of his rib cage fracture, and he stumbles, but he's still up. But you've done a decent amount of damage to him, and this time being very careful to not hit Ara, you just like kind of uppercut him with your claws as you just rake his chest, exposing like guts and intestines that just fall onto the floor as he just does a sort of platoon style, just fall to the knees and then falls over to the side. Combat unit, you're up. What are you doing? Okay, that definitely hits. Fucking hurt. Like, really fucking hurt. I mean, he is out first hit. You just you see him kind of like you kind of do like a 1-2 hit, almost like you're using like hammers on an anvil. When like two blacksmiths are working together, you hear this pang, and just as he's recovering, you hear this poof, as you just uppercut him. Seeing the bears next to you, you're like, I like that. Yeah, let's give that a try. And you kind of like swing it up in a proper like Thor movement, completely lifting him off his feet as you hear this as you just watch as you connect with his throat, and just he's just lying on the floor gasping for air as slowly dies. Yep, that's with advantage. I mean, you've already. No, that's enough. No, 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 no. Yeah, the 9 plus the 3. That's enough. Um, so you're able to just like go, and the guy who's just like, oh, as you just bring it quivering down onto him. Just, Okay, doke. So that is your action and bonus action. So is there anything else you'd like to do with your movement? you just kind of like shuffle to the left in just this one step, this sort of, and the guy's just like, why? As he just looks up. Kane, it's your turn. What are you doing? Yep. So you have. So you've got. You have this guy who's asleep here, and you have this guy who is fully awake here. Those are your last two. Yep. Yep. That's more than enough. You just you just watch as Kane just kind of like almost same as combat unit, making full eye contact with Shao, just drives the glaze straight through his chest and just twists it, pulls it out. You still get your another attack and your movement and your bonus action. You got the movement. No, you move 5 feet and you've got 10 foot of reach. You could be like there and still hit him. You've got advantage because no, it's just your normal attack. It's just your normal attack. Okay, and then plus your d6. Yep, I mean, like, he is so dead it's not even funny. Um, you just like turn up, and as he's just kind of like taking in the fact that he's got this effectively statue in front of him, this like monolith to like some old robotic being. He's not really paying attention. You just manage to get the glaive right in his side under the rib cage and almost lift him up as you push the glaive deeper into him and then just pull it out sideways on. And you guys are now out of combat. And if you don't mind, we're going to take a quick break because I need a drink. So, just literally just a 5 minute break because obviously we'll wrap it up relatively soon as well. Okay. Okay. So now that we're back, what do you guys want to do? You've just slain pretty much everything bar the kitchen sink. What do you guys want to do? Give me a perception check. Okay. I'd say, yeah, that's fine. That's more than enough. So, unfortunately, combat unit, as you're just being like, ha, this is great. Oh, as you just start to, boom. Um, yeah, that's the point. I need to probably make really small tokens of all of you guys because they snap. So I can't like do like quarter ones because they'll snap to it. Um, okay, so yeah, as you look out, you can see that there are like bits of materials that have kind of like been hitched up and gone. There's no like armed brigade about to storm the door or anything like that. Okay, can you give me whoever is proficient with investigation and would like to make investigation checks? Give me rolls, please. Cool, cool. with those, you're all above average. I'd say you managed to pick up about 350 gold off the dead cultists. Bogluck himself has about 150 gold. And one thing you guys now notice upon like looking at Buglock in more detail, on the scabbard to his longsword is actually a dragon motif iconography type thing. It's like it's very clear he was not solely a cultist, but very much in bed with them. um, so yeah, so you guys managed to find the key. Um, Yep. Okay, so you comfortably put all the dead bodies just in the hay, basically. Okay, how long does that take, or are you just doing it instantly? Okay, cool. So I'd say that like with your talk, with your investigation, with you hiding the bodies and everything, it's been an hour or so to like lift them, move them, get rid of some of the blood stains, work it into the into the floor and whatever you, because it's a dirt floor, so it's easily enough done with some pails of water and stuff. You're able to do that. So you're kind of looking at about mid-afternoon now, sort of like 1, 2 o'clock. By the time you guys had breakfast, you come out, had your discussion, etc. So it's not getting dark, but you know that the sun's on the way out, if that makes sense. Yep, you definitely find the key. Okay, so you guys are coming to the lock room here, yeah? You did indeed. Correct. So, so easily enough, open the locked door. Um, Shao, being able to kind of like recall what the trapdoor was, lifts up a chest that looks incredibly sturdy. Combat unit even gives it like a shake, and it doesn't seem to like like be immovable. It looks really heavy, and the Shao kind of shows that if you just tip it over on one side, it actually is a door. The bottom of it is the door, and he kind of rolls it over, revealing a a passageway, for want of a better word. Yeah, it's not lit at all. It is a okay. How many spells you got left or slots? Okay, give me an Arcana check for you to kind of like try and focus this, what would normally be aimed at a human-sized target, down to something that's probably about an inch across. Yeah, you're definitely able to just very, by bringing it quite close, you're able to force that magic in, and yep, you pump a spell slot. So you also need to cast a spell slot as well, Johnny. Cool. It's a simple lock door. You can lock it if you want. No. Guys can mark off one short rest. So those of you who need to roll hit die, please roll hit die. Okay, well the rest of you, I'm just putting in where the, oh no, I'm not, because I'm doing that on the wrong level. Oh God, don't be such a dick. Mini cannot see in the dark. No, your native is you can't see in dark vision. No, because it flies. Okay, so you are for 1 minute. uh, teeny tiny show. Okay, so with your short rest and all of this, I'm going to say it's been another about hour and a half, 2 hours, because you guys have been discussing what you're doing, you've been trading out spell slots, you've been trying to work your way through it. Like, so you're now getting close to 3 to 4 p.m. So sun's getting low. It's going to like not quite in that orangey stage yet, but it's getting there. Before you get before you get to any of that, as 77 opens the trapdoor, I need everyone to roll initiative. No, it's just me sorting it out. Because there's no tunnel, so I had to have them somewhere that wasn't just like on top of you so that I could manage it. Um, I mean, they were. You are now on level with them because you basically went and just jumped down, and they are like in front of you. Um, no, because you basically like landed and they were foot on you, and you're like, oh shit. So Shal could be casting invisibility for sure, but they are going to be able to. It's not a surprise round because you're expecting somebody down there. But at the same time, like the attack would not be made with disadvantage because you're a big, massive thing that is standing literally in the way. It is a black tunnel. You know what? Hang on. Let's just make this nice and fucking simple. So as there is, let's make that the tunnel right there. You guys see that? Yeah, the big black triangle, rectangle. It's because my brain's not working. My brain's not working. Okay, like. Bless would have also worn off, so if you guys could just take Bless off yourselves, please. Click on your characters, hit the little circle icon at the bottom, and then just deselect the icon that I'd selected for you. As you do have 120 feet dark vision combat unit, I will. Yep. And I would say as you jumped down, you didn't come down the steps. You jumped down. You were like on them. Make sense? Because so those are steps. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'll draw little arrows so that those. Okay. Right. What? Okay, so Ara, it's actually your turn first. All you hear is just like shit from combat unit. Okay, yep. Okay. Yep, go for it. Nice. Very nice, and you've doubled the 5. Yeah, it was because it was a 1 before, and I was like, fuck that. Um, okay, so you just release this bow as you just like hit a big, deep penetrating shot into the lizard folk. No, not dead. That's not through Intelliquin. Um, yeah, so you literally just turn up and just like whoosh, pull out the bow, whoosh, and it's like you notice that like he almost half deflects the arrow with his shield initially. Just say that, just check that that's correct. They do indeed. But it still manages to skim through the sheer force of the bow and penetrates him deeply. Kind of pulls it out, and as he's focusing on pulling out the first arrow, you just take out the first lizard folk. Okay. No, it's your bonus action to move it. So you've already used your bonus action. Okay, Johnny, it's up. You've heard combat. You've heard combat unit crying like a little bitch down in the tunnel. So, he's cried out for his daughter to help. She's gone down, dealt with the threat, at least one. What are you doing? And okay, fine. So roll me a persuasion check, a straight persuasion check, because they do speak. They do indeed understand you. And the one in front, you just kind of like hear the sort of like, sort of like disgruntled, and he kind of turns and goes, "All right, mate. All right. Leave it on. Leave it on." And you see him kind of starts to back away, but then you do know wherever the fuck I please. And and the other four behind him are like, "Barry, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Come on, get stuck in." Now, to the rest of them, this sounds like really gruff and aggressive. It's like, but to you, it's just like, mate, calm it down. Like, it's all right, okay, because you don't understand Draconic. So yeah, okay. So this one here is kind of stuck between, like trying to kind of like back up and like, no, 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 he's got a point, and the four of his mates be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Get back in the fight. We'll see how that plays out. Can't be in it. Oh, sorry, carry on. I would say make a persuasion check, but you've already done that, so you're just hoping. Okay, combat idiot, what are you doing? We get it. You're scared, crying in the ball in the corner, so you're like, I need more armor. Okay. Okay, make me an unarmed strike. Nike. Yeah. If you mean the actual action one, then okay. So it's an athletics check against his strength. So let's. Yeah. Nope. You just and you just watch this lizard who's going, Barry, mate, what the fuck's what? He just like goes flying backwards. So I think shove just basically knocks him prone, right? But he can't move 5 feet back because I'm moving into an ally. Yeah, so I'd say you knock it into his friend and he goes prone. I'd say that is because there's somebody literally directly behind him, so you can't move him 5 feet. So he goes down prone. Okay, so that's your action. Bonus action. Shao, you're up. What are you doing? Oh, okay. Give me 2 seconds then. There you go. Yep, Minnie, you're up. Get back! Get back in your box! So, what are you doing? Okay. Let me find you. I mean, you do have like spells and things. You are a druid. No, I know. No, it's just the way you were like, I can't do anything. I'm like, you're like a druid. You have like one of the biggest spell lists there is. You are indeed a bear now. That is accurate. Yeah, I say not till later. Yeah, so you just like well, you can the steps go down, so you can just about see Minnie go down there, kind of crouch on all fours, and you're like, what the fuck is she doing? And then just fur starts to sprout from her. It's just and just like, okay, cool, we got another one that does that. Fine, right? No, I would say no, especially as you've got Ara and Johnny in the way as well. So combat unit basically just like shoots up, hits the ceiling, falls flat on his face, and then just grows wide, like as in depth wise. Just becomes this sort of like legs and arms in midair. There's the sort of block, like just like almost as if he's like halfway through Jello, like in the middle of the tunnel. Yep. Barry's Barry's like, what's going on? Okay. Kane, you're up. What are you doing? I've just realised they don't have a turn order. For some reason, they don't have a turn order. Just give me a second. Sorry. I did. Yeah, I'd like. Okay, I don't know what that was about. That's fine. Kane, you go first, and then we'll sort it out after. You can. No, you can't. Uh, no, because that's what he's saying. If you can't grow larger, which you can't because you physically if that is the case, then I need if you're basically you no you just expand where you are. So as technically you'd be expanding like halfway in between the two. I will get Johnny and Minnie to. You're gonna take 1d4 crushing damage. Yeah, which is as is Barry and the other two. So no, he yeah. Okay, so Kane, what are you doing? Okay, doke. You're not holding an action, nothing like that. Okay, Ari, you're up. What are you doing? Oh, yes, you're. No, oh, sorry, he's right. It would be the lizard folks' turn. They're going to move back so they can reform. This guy's used half his movement to get up, but that's still more than enough. That can get there. They can get there. So you do get one opportunity attack combat unit. Uh, cool. I was gonna say it'd actually probably be almost a disadvantage in the cramped space, but I'd say what as it is. Barry's still like, guys, look, they seem alright. You know, they're just like Barry, wake the fuck up, like. And he's like they're just like gesturing to combat unit and be like, "How do you think this is a good thing?" Um, he's just like, "Oh, I just don't know, guys." But this one's gonna move back up and is going to attack you, combat unit. Uh, so they he kind of slips you with his heavy club. Doesn't seem to be able to really do anything. Barry Barry's just trying to plead with the other ones to like leave it alone. The other three though are going to attack you with their javelins. Um, Yep. So 15, 14. One more. No. So you just watch as they just kind of like they do hit combat unit because he's taken up the entire tunnel. There was no way for them to actually miss, but they're not able to like throw it with enough force or just hit anything vital. It's just ping, 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 ping. Yep, that's it. Alright, it's your turn. What are you doing? You can't look over combat unit. Combat unit has literally taken up the tunnel. Okay, Ara, what are you doing? Okay. A persuasion shot. What is a persuasion shot when it's at home? Combat unit sat there going, "Look, small cow, far away." Right, like trying to explain it to you. Johnny, you're up. What are you doing? Give me a straight persuasion check. They are in combat, and also they don't really. It's not so much the metal dragon because they know that's bullshit, but it's more the fact of like you're giving them an out to not just be brutally murdered. So it's yeah it's yeah. Um. So yeah, I mean you don't know how that's gone. You one can't actually see it, and you just don't know yet. Doing anything else? Okay. Combat unit. Combat unit. You are currently wedged in the tunnel. What are you doing? That that's how like stuff works. If you cast in large and you're in a small box, you don't just like be like, oh well, I can't. No, like he literally is not tall enough. He's only just tall enough to stand in it. So it's only like an 8 foot ceiling, and he's 7.5 foot tall, right? So so he's yeah. So but he then says if you yeah. So he just basically goes bam. Yeah, by the letter of it, effectively, what happens is the proportions then shift. Yeah, to then be like, so he just basically went poof, into the ceiling, and then just went wide, as the spell like had to dissipate somewhere. So, what are you doing? You could like you could sort of like imagine having like a bit of 2x4 in a very narrow tunnel. You can kind of like go with the left a bit, tap that in, move with the right a bit, then to the left a bit, and then the right bit. That's kind of like how you can do it. It's yeah. So you could that would be I'd say as your size you could do both, but that would be a shove action because you can't just move through like indeed. Yeah. Yeah. So um for pure flavour, I'm going to say you're able to push them all back. Ooh, no, that is more than I wanted. Oh, damn you, D&D Beyond. There we go. Uh, what? Fuck off. No, like you did, and then I stopped. There we go. So you're able to push them all back 5 feet, and then you can like gain that 5 feet. That's your action. You've still got your bonus action. Okay, Minnie, you've just watched Combat Unit kind of go as you just watch them kind of like just all of a sudden sort of jump forward 5 feet, and you can just hear this sort of like cackling growling behind as like you assume he's either landed on them or something. You're not really sure. He's. Are you guys a fan of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Because basically, Combat Unit has become the Scottish goalkeeper. No, you cannot. Yep. Okay. I think it's just a bonus action to drop. So yeah. Yes, I would. Well, you wouldn't know where they start. You know where combat unit would stop, roughly. He's not. He's not very. He's not very dense. He's just very wide. He is. Okay, what level are you casting that at? Second level. Okay, so you want a circle. Sorry, I'm just trying to draw a shape. Let me draw different shapes. Fucking no. Shao, can you just draw a circle for me whilst I'm trying to sort this out? So can you roll 2d10 then, please? It won't let me go for anything but a square. 14 damage. Okay, thank you. Right, so they need to make a Constitution saving throw, right? Well, no, but Baz is the three. He's too busy just being like, guys, come on, look, they don't seem like bad people. It's just all of a sudden, this white illuminating light just starts just casting incredibly painful, like divine, I think, no, like something magic, radiant magic on them. So yeah, so they take half as much on a save. So this guy saves. So yeah, the rest of them take 14 damage. He takes 7. Kidok. Shao, you're up. What are you doing? Okay. No. No. What it does, no. What it does is it literally the ground in the area effectively becomes liquid and then hardens again. Nope. No. That's. Do you want to mark the area because it then becomes rough terrain afterwards? That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Deck saves. 2 save. So nope. In fact, so literally you just see Johnny's just like, oh, for fuck's sake! I take it that's your turn. Okay. So this guy's going to use just bop, 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 bop. So that's half, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yep. Boop. You guys are now out of combat and have. that that is where we're going to wrap up for tonight, because it is 20 to 11. And we will pick this up next week when I'm not on call and we can start on time. Um, Understood.